also many other features that we're going to be streaming, showcasing for you guys in this AMA. So I also have the founder of Token with me here, Swifty. So Swifty, if you want to maybe introduce a little bit about yourself and also maybe your background and how you started Token.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see a few familiar faces. Pleasure to be able to see you guys again. But hi, everyone. I'm Swifty. I am the founder of Token alongside 6 other developers. Myself, as well as the team included, we have been working on Token for almost 4 months now. And we actually have been in the NFT space for roughly 8 months. The purpose of Token, and I'll kind of change things up a little bit to kind of explain it in more detail. The purpose of Token is really to help you be able to automate certain things in the NFT space, whether it is like what Bo has mentioned about being able to snipe while you're in your sleep, or as well as actually just being able to easily visually see all of your portfolio in a single place. And we try to make sure that we tackle both aspects of not only the automation, but also to help you enjoy the experience of playing NFTs in general. So definitely, to kind of give you guys a quick background about myself as well as the team included. I pretty much started as a biochemistry student in college, and I really wanted to kind of dive into ways to find as well as make secondary income. And so I really went into the automation space, building software and as well as working closely with our team. Meeting our team basically just through talking a lot, as well as finding a common ground, being able to build certain things together. And so for us, we basically started building this application called Koi, which I will show you guys later as well. It is an automation software that helps people purchase limited goods, including sneakers, PS5s, anything related that helps you flip for a potential profit. We have done that. Yeah, biochemistry is not easy. But yeah, I think, definitely that is kind of like what really got us started working closely as a team to be building out for our community. Obviously another thing that I'll definitely mention is that we've been working on Koi as well as jumping into the NFT space with a span of like 3 to 4 years already. Koi, we have been serving almost a few thousand customers, and it's still something that we do even to this day. And we've expanded our team to be able to build out what Token is, and we learned a lot from working closely with a lot of different NFT people in the community, as well as just to kind of receive a ton of different feedback, such as, it's so hard to perhaps be notified of a particular collection either being updated or a particular collection that has a good deal that just came out. I want to just be able to snipe it or be able to purchase it without having to quickly approve or certain things like that. So it's a lot of things that we have taken into account of and really allowed us to build what Token is today. And I'll definitely dive into more details on exactly what we do at Token, as well as what our focus is and what we're definitely going to be focusing on in the future as well. It was a pleasure to be able to be here. I appreciate you all giving us this opportunity to be able to speak today.
Yeah, and also just a quick reminder that like what you guys are seeing on the stream is the beta version of a Token. So actually, on the launch day, like the product might look even better, or like there might be a few more features than you can expect than what you're seeing today. But I will be dropping the link for beta sign up. So for anybody who attended this AMA, you guys can sign up for the waitlist, and also just said that just 1 second. I'm not sure PMO or Edstrid. Am I able to drop a link in the AMA chat?
I think
Or should I pass it to you?
I think
All
you
right.
can pass it to
Okay.
Astrid, and then
Okay. I think it. Oh wait, hold on. I'm missing a T. There you go. All right, that should be good. Yeah, so if you guys can head over to the AMA questions, I have dropped the link for the beta sign up, and then you guys can just say Bo sent you or to say this, and then this is the password to crack the whole code.
Yo, alrighty. Let me attempt to share my screen real quick.
I actually do own an agent, by the way. It's not letting me verify for some reason. I verified, but it's not showing my role.
Really?
Yeah, I own an
Let's.
agent.
Did you use WAP?
Yeah, I just did the holders verification. I just did. It might take a couple of minutes, I would say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah, and
Oh, there
so
you go. There's
basically,
the stream.
Whew,
um,
let's go.
let's go.
Yeah. See, biochemistry does make you smart and do stuff. Right, right, right. I mean, I'm really interested as to from biochemistry to NFTs because there's a science to it or something. But I guess this is where you're supposed to be. Anyway, please proceed with your demo of this awesome. I actually really want this, so I'm excited to see what you guys are all about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, biochemistry in the mud. Yeah, I mean, to kind of quickly talk about biochemistry, it was something that I felt like, in some ways, I was just kind of forcing myself to be able to learn. But when I really dove myself into the automation aspect of things, it's extremely enjoying to be able to build products that really change people's lives. I know like one user who has used Koi, he bought like a few, I think there was a single day that he bought around like 15,000-ish, I think it was 14 or 15,000-ish PS5s. So imagine the amount of shipment that was going to his house on that day. It was just really, really nice to see, but I pray for him to, be able to ship them and sell them all at the same time. But yeah, he was definitely excited to be able to do so. It's just really, really exciting to be able to build things and be able to work closely to help people potentially change their lives in any way possible. For Token itself, right now this is a demo application. I know Estrid most likely has a form of access at the moment. Basically, this is what everyone is actually testing with us right now. And by time, we're definitely going to be rolling out more and more features during our beta phase. Chivok, you asked me the same question, but I'll definitely go to. I remember this question, but I'll get to this real quick. And definitely, if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask it in the AMA questions. I'll be leaving the screen onto the chat so that if you have a question, I'll answer. In terms of how the beta testing works, is for those who are in this call, we would most likely allow you guys to just enter into the waitlist, and we will just make sure that you are accepted from the waitlist so that we can accept you guys and allow you guys to begin testing. But of course, during our beta, we unlock certain features and we allow people to test it. And once those features are kind of sorted and any type of bugs are crushed, then we move on to the next feature and unlock more and more features as we go. But nothing will be changed, and something that I'll definitely mention is that you're not going to be expecting, especially those who are beta testers, you won't be expecting something that is different. It's essentially just something that, it's a time frame that can allow you to decide whether or not this is a tool for you, or if you want to kind of decide whether or not another tool that is, what you believe is going to offer what you need. But of course, our team is always here to make sure that we adapt and provide as much as possible. So, a few things that we currently offer, and I appreciate all the questions, by the way. I will get to them right after I go through this quick demo, and as well as a quick demonstration of what we offer. So a few things that we currently offer, mainly to allow you to not only mint as well as snipe on Ethereum, but also to kind of organize your wallets and keep things into groups whenever needed. And obviously, you could also perform certain bulk actions with the wallets that you have created or utilized. So of course, what I would do right now is to kind of dive into, allowing you to kind of see how we kind of keep things organized for you in the wallet page. And the one thing you can kind of see is that we keep things into particular wallet groups so that you can keep things as organized as possible. If you want to also create it for Solana, you could do so as well. So of course, the one thing you guys kind of recognize here is our core focus is going to be mainly on Ethereum and Solana, and most likely you would be, it would be, both of these chains would be something that we were going to support on all of the features that you're going to be seeing here prior to our mint as well. So of course, there's a few things you could. my bad.
Yeah, he's a fucking. You're like a super smart like biochemist or some shit.
Yo, Romeo, I could hear you.
Oh, my bad, bro. We're gonna talk about how smart you sound, bro.
No.
Oh, I'm dead.
I'm done. I love it.
Yo.
All right. I gotta focus up.
Regroup.
Yeah. So, a few things that you guys can kind of take a look at is the fact that, not only can you create your own wallets, it's the same way that you create wallets in your MetaMask as well. Obviously, another thing that you can kind of take a look into is the fact that, we're not just a bot. We're not just focusing on the automation aspect of the tool. We obviously also focus heavily on allowing you to visually see what you own, as well as potentially work around understanding what your portfolio is at and what you can potentially do with it. So of course, there's obviously other features such as being able to distribute your funds. So if you want to distribute from, let's just say from this particular burner wallet that I own, I could distribute from one wallet to all of the wallets that I've just generated on that entire group. I could choose individual ones if I wanted to, or I could choose the entire wallet group as shown. I could also be doing certain things such as evenly distributing your funds, and it will kind of allow you to know how much you need to spend for each, as well as being able to kind of do a custom amount as you wish. So you could do a set custom amount for each and then distribute them evenly. For whichever amount that you want to set. And of course, when I talk about features as well as the experience portion of the app, we care a lot about what you do even post mint, whether it is performing bulk actions, or if it is just coming here. Let's say you just minted on all 10 of these wallets, and you want to easily visually see.
Rồi lại chết nữa. Trời này đầu này đâu. Rồi, kiểu vừa có quá thôi. Đâu suy nghĩ đâu. Đâu là
Damn it. It's your turn to share your screen now. So a few things that I'll definitely mention real quick is that let's say you just minted on all these 10 wallets, right? So assuming if you just minted on all 10, you could visually view the data of all of these wallets all together. And of course, just to kind of give you guys an example of what it looks like, when I choose a single wallet or I choose multiples, I'm able to basically visually see them all at once. So something you guys can kind of take a look at, and obviously this is something that isn't finalized yet, but we're still working towards perfecting this particular design, is to allow you to kind of visually see not only your total liquidity, maybe perhaps your portfolio value, which is currently based off of the floor, but obviously it would be more based off of allowing you to choose whether you want to base it off of the traits or the ranking as well. And there's obviously other values such as the amount that you have spent with this wallet, and to give you a quick breakdown of the total profit of your wallet and your spending. And of course, there's other things such as just visually seeing your NFTs. If you own 500, you could obviously be able to visually see them all. We will have more filter options here. It's to me, it's something that we want to be able to kind of introduce to you so that you can portfolio them even further, sorting them out by colors, doing certain things that allow you to sort them accordingly. Maybe you just want to see all of the green ones instead of all of the red ones, but obviously my portfolio doesn't look that good. We allow you to customize as well as see the ones you want to see. You could even share this with your friends, take a screenshot and say, yo, perhaps I am 100 Ethereum in profit. I mean, that's kind of nice. But of course, at the same time, it's the same process, and we try to keep it as similar as possible for Ethereum and Solana. So same way you could create as many wallets as you wish to. You could also be distributing funds with all of these Solana wallets. They could be utilized on your browser if you want to export them. as you wish. The same way that you export your private key on your Phantom wallet or any wallet you utilize for Solana, it goes hand in hand. And so this is just something that you guys can kind of take a look at for the beta phase of our wallet page. There's other things that I know that some of you guys might be wondering. You can actually see it on OpenSea, by the way. All of these wallets. So let's say right now, if you have just minted on this particular wallet or this wallet, you basically just search the public key, or basically kind of load in whichever the portfolio is, and you can just kind of visually see who owns the NFT within this wallet. It goes pretty much hand in hand. So that's just something that definitely you can keep in mind. But I'll talk more about what we're focusing on after this demo, so that you guys can kind of know exactly what else is going to be featured, as well as what else is going to be introduced as we go. But there's obviously other features, such as being able to perform different bulk actions, maybe like bulk listing, canceling, as well as bidding. For those who have tons of different wallets or have a few wallets that own a few NFTs. Obviously, we have one feature that I'll talk to you guys later on about transferring NFTs. But of course, we want to make sure that we keep things as convenient as possible, so that even for those who, let's say, have a ton of wallets, even for, let's say, wallet 1 to 5, you want to list them all at once, you could do so easily. Or if you just want to do for a single wallet and list them all at once, you could also do that. And of course, you could choose the NFT that you want to list. Let's say I want to do these. I'll just do this one. I just want to list this one for a particular price. We allow you to basically do so on any platform as you wish to. And then, you could keep track of all of the listings that you have done. Or you could also sort it by particular bulk action. So let's say if you bulk listed at this time, it'll kind of showcase to you guys in each particular listing. So we try to make sure that we keep things as organized as we possibly can, so that every time you use this application, you can easily know what you have performed and what you have done with certain actions. So, even for canceling as well, if I just wanted to kind of go back, cancel the NFT that has just been listed, let's say it's this one. And then obviously I want to cancel this NFT that has just been listed, then I can obviously easily do so and allow it to basically, perform it at the same time. When it comes down to gas, and I know that you guys, it's great that you actually asked this. When it comes down to gas, whether it is canceling, whether it is sweeping, or as well as distributing your funds, we try to make sure that we aggregate them all into a single transaction. And then we try to make sure that all of these... yeah, so... 1 second. Yeah, I'll get to this. You guys will be able to see it soon. So one thing I'll definitely mention real quick is the fact that when it comes down to gas optimization, we actually heavily emphasize that a ton. So when it comes down to, like what I was mentioning about canceling, when it's sweeping, or if it's just irregular distributing your funds, everything is aggregated accordingly. So let's say if you cancel all of the NFTs that I was just kind of showing you guys. Let's just say all of these NFTs that I have just listed, we are able to easily help you aggregate all of these listed NFTs and cancel them all in a single TX. So that's just something you guys can kind of take a look into and kind of take into consideration, that we focus on that heavily as well.
Hi, so sorry, Vander, could I ask you to mute your mic?
It's okay.
Swifty, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you're showing me this, right? And for bulk transactions, and I love it. But are you saying that if I have a transaction to cancel my listing in Ethereum and I have one for Solana, I can do it at the same time too? And it's going to be an optimized transaction, so to speak?
Oh, I see where your question is.
Yeah.
Vander.
Did you put a Lego in your mouth? Did you put a Lego in your mouth?
That's so
Did you
cute,
put a
by the
Lego in
way.
your mouth?
So
Yeah.
cute.
Did you
So
put a Lego in your mouth?
I don't think you could hear us, by the way, but it's okay.
Ew.
To kind of answer your question, by the way, PMO, what I was kind of mentioning is assuming if you have listed so many NFTs, all of your NFTs in your wallet for Ethereum is all going to be is already listed, and you want to cancel them all at once. You're more than welcome to do so, and they'll all attempt to aggregate the NFTs into a single TX. So instead of, I know some of you guys might be understanding this a little better if I showcase, if all of these are listed, all of these are my NFTs, and I have to cancel this on its own, which is one TX. I have to cancel this on its own, which is another TX. And all of these I have to cancel, right? As opposed to bulk canceling, which is like how sweeping is also done, where we kind of aggregate them and cancel them into a single TX. That saves you a ton of gas. For Solana, you could also do the same thing. So if you own a particular wallet that has specific NFTs, you could kind of just load it in and then cancel it as well. So that's just something that you guys can kind of take a look at as well. So we don't limit ourselves to, different just Ethereum itself. But of course, for Solana, it's the fees itself is a bit negligible, but we do try to make sure that it is as convenient and as quick as possible. And of course, there's other features such as bulk bidding. The one thing that I can kind of bring up real quick is assuming if we have, my bad, there was something happening, but okay, we're all good. So there's a few things I want to kind of go quickly over. The bulk bidding page to us is already very much outdated, mainly because I know some of you guys are aware that OpenSea has already introduced the collection offer, which is actually very, very useful. I do believe is also very useful for us. The one thing that we are attempting to improve, though, actually we have mentioned in our server, is the fact that instead of just a collection offer, that you are able to do certain things such as multi-trait bidding, which we want to be able to allow you to do. So you could choose multiple different traits and bid them all at once, or basically the traits that you want to bid on. Or you also want to be able to do competitive bidding. So assuming if this is the NFT that you want to go for, and you set perhaps a maximum price of 12.5 of a bid that you want to set for the competitive bidding, what it would do is always make sure that your bid is above this person's bid, all the way up to that max limit of 12.5 wrap Ethereum. So you don't have to be at your desk waiting or watching somebody to bid above you and be upset that you have to send another offer again. You could automatically just use this competitive bidding feature that we will be offering in the future. Let's see. Yep. So like I was mentioning really quickly, in terms of how you want to cancel, it's very much the same way, where it basically aggregates all of the NFTs that you wish to be able to cancel and cancel it all in one TX. So that's the kind of when we're talking about gas optimization and we're talking about what needs to be taken into consideration, we definitely have that taken care of, as well as the sweeping that will be introduced soon to our beta testers, because we want to allow people to see what edge we're actually providing in comparison to products like Gem and Genie, because any type of way that we can optimize as well as allow gas to be saved, even more as compared to products like Gem and Genie, we definitely want to make sure that we provide that to our members. So I think that is that for the bulk actions page. And here we come to the task page. And I apologize if I didn't get to most of your questions. I will get to all of them, starting from here, where Tivok has asked the first question. So let's see. Obviously, here, let me just kind of delete these. So right now, we allow people to be able to easily take a look into not only the sniping feature as well as the minting feature of Token. Let me create one for both, just so that you guys can kind of take a look into what you're able to kind of utilize for both features. And obviously, we have only recently launched the mass minting feature around, I think, 4 days ago, and we're definitely looking for ways to improve it, as well as implement certain features such as, I know some of you guys probably know about Merkle, as well as signatures for contracts. We want to be able to implement that for people to utilize as well and have support for those particular contracts. So there's obviously a few things, when it comes down to sniping itself, it's very much self-explanatory. How we kind of tackle sniping is we allow you guys to be able to kind of set up and go to sleep. And so what that means is you could be setting up for a particular deal. Let's say if somebody lists for an accidental price of, maybe 10 or below, or they just want to quick sell, and you want to be that person who, purchases it at that particular price. You could do so very easily by setting that particular price, or basically 10 Ethereum or below. You could also set, if you really want to, or if those who accidentally list at 50% below floor price, which is very low chance, but it still happens, that could also be something that you could set as well. And of course, why we talk about wallet management is this is the key reason why, where you could choose different groups of wallets. So all of the wallets that you have just created can all be utilized. You could also choose individual ones if you want to from a particular group, or you could just deselect a few from that group as well to just use it and choose it really, really quickly. So I could choose one single group or another group depending on your needs. So I'll just kind of utilize this as an example for now, where I chose 10 wallets from a particular wallet group. And of course, you could also be performing certain things as setting your max priority fee as well as max gas fee, which we have a comprehensive guide to allow you to understand how much is necessary to set these up. And then obviously once you create your tasks, the one thing you guys can kind of recognize is you could also be performing certain things such as highlighting certain ones, by doing your certain computer commands that you guys are very much accustomed to. You could also be shift clicking just to kind of keep things as organized, or kind of edit things to the particular collection that you want to go after. So let's say if you're a guy who wants to go after this, you suddenly want to change it, but you don't want to change the wallets, you could just edit that task, choose the new collection, choose the new price, which let's say if I just want to do 1 Ethereum, and then I can edit it, and now this is all edited. So the wallet 1 to 5 is all now edited to this particular NFT. Apologize, I was sorting this out. But yeah, so that's obviously something you guys can kind of take a look at when it comes down to the ease of access of the tool. We try to make sure that it is as intuitive and as easy to manipulate around, so that you don't have to come back, recreate, or in certain cases, I know certain tools would make you choose the module, go to the next page, choose the contract, or paste in the contract, or search the project, go to the next page, choose your wallets. You've done all of that, you saved it, and suddenly you can't edit it, and you have to go through all of that process again. So we try to make sure that is as intuitive as it possibly can be. And so obviously the one thing you guys can kind of recognize is, while all of these are starting, I could be doing other things such as generating more wallets if I wanted to. Let's just say I want to create a backup group because I really want to snipe up more, or I want to create or go for a particular mint. I could just go after and create more and more wallets, and then say that I want to start minting and creating more tasks for minting. And all of these are still going to be monitoring. And of course, I know some of you guys probably are looking for ways to understand what it's like to utilize this tool under stress conditions. And the one thing I'll definitely mention is you could be running a few thousand tasks, by the way, of this particular tool. And I'll show you guys in a bit on what it looks like, but it's not going to have any type of delay when it comes down to the performance of the application, because that is something that we emphasize heavily, and we try to make sure that you're able to utilize this tool, even in your sleep, or for those who really want to heavily mint hundreds of thousands of NFTs with different setups, you could do so as well. And so, of course, to kind of showcase to you guys real quick before I jump into the NFT, so the minting portion, I could basically be setting this up, set a particular gas fee like I was kind of doing, and then I could do basically 1,000 tasks. As you can clearly tell, Every single one of them is created. And right now what I'm doing is kind of showcasing to you guys as an example that the application itself isn't at all laggy. We're still in a way basically you could kind of still utilize it, not worrying too much about other things that are happening. And I can also start all if I wanted to, just to kind of allow everything to basically kickstart. And then as you can clearly tell, when you're still running 1,000 tasks, by the way, for minting or sniping, that it's going to be doing its monitoring, it's going to be doing its thing, every single one of them, with me scrolling and just kind of doing its thing. Perhaps I want to start bulk listing, go to my wallet again, start bulk listing certain NFTs, and then doing all of those things one after another, and come back, and it's still going to be doing its thing. And it's not going to have any type of delay whatsoever. But of course, if you run like 100,000 tasks, then we probably need to find ways to optimize it basing off of your needs. But of course, we try to curate to those who have an understanding or wish to be able to run heavily, and we try to make sure that it is, basically for both ends who are not only new as well as those who are experienced, have a tool that is not only convenient but also just well performed and able to take stress as much as possible. But let me just pin this right here so that I don't forget. Actually, it's okay. I won't forget because it's TVOC. But let me just come down here. I can't beef Swifty. He's a biochemist. All right. Ex the biochemist. My goodness. Yeah, my parents aren't happy about that, by the way. Just not going to lie to you. But let me move on to the minting portion of the app. So as of right now, it has a very bare bone of what minting is able to provide to you. Let's just say if we're going for doodles, for example, and let's just kind of give you guys a quick understanding of what it looks like as well as what you guys can kind of perceive. Every single contract is different. So don't take this by like, oh, every single contract has the same parameters. Every single contract is written differently. They have ways to start the sale by different parameters. And so, of course, I'm just using Doodle as an example. There's certain contracts that require Merkle as well as other contracts that basically attempt to prevent bots, but there's always ways to go around it. So one thing that we kind of take a look at is for those who have minted on contract before, you could basically kind of see that you guys probably have used your MetaMask, came here, connected your wallet, and then you would basically come to this particular portion. As many of you guys would probably recognize easily that this is the mint portion that I could choose, input the amount, which if the mint is 0.246 and it's 1 token, I could process that mint. And if I'm a whitelisted person, I would come here. And so of course I would just choose that, select the number of tokens. And then the one thing about Token, goodness, I'm talking Token too much, but the one thing about Token app is the fact that we can also allow you to run certain different modes. Certain things such as either choosing a particular time frame you want this task to start. So if you want to choose, let's say, and this is definitely going to be improved, by the way. I don't like it when you have to go to another website just to search for a particular time. So let's say if I want to do my local time at 8 p.m. Okay, it's already past 8 p.m. So just do 10 p.m. So if I want to do that, I could also do so, and then it will start exactly at 10 p.m. Or there's another mode that basically we kind of allow people to utilize, which is called flip state. And I know some of you guys probably have some sort of idea about what this would do. But instead, what this actually does for you is instead of having to start whenever or the Discord announces that the mint is live, you can monitor certain things on the read contract portion. So the one thing that you can easily read is if the whitelist sale is live, then if I'm a whitelisted person, then my task will start. But for those who are public minters, you probably will find a specific parameter, such as if the sale is live or not. So you can monitor any type of parameter that you believe would trigger the sale to go live. And so because this is false, obviously that means that there's no sale going on. What I'm going to do is, if I'm going to be monitoring for this, I will set this for sale is active, and if it's equal to true, that means my task should start. And so that's just something that we kind of allow you to be able to do. And so you could just set this up, choose the wallet. Let's just say this is the Ethereum wallets that I wanted to kind of utilize to go after this mint. And I set the value of the mint. And I could also be, if I'm lazy, I could just turn on the smart gas. If I'm not lazy, I could set up a custom priority fee and max fee if I believe that this is going to be a heavily, focused gas. And there's going to be a huge gas war going on. But let's just say I kind of set that up, and you're all pretty much good to go. And what it's going to do is once I create them all and I start them, it should be monitoring for if sale is active or not. And of course, because how contracts really work, they have to be able to kind of, in some ways, trigger for the sale to go active on chain. And so they would have to basically switch this on to be able to allow, mints to occur. And so, of course, this is going to do is I could just set this up and then go pass out, praying that I'll get actually my mint if my gas is set enough. If my gas is not enough, then obviously your transaction would fail. But if your gas is well set up, then you should be able to do so. There's obviously, even for, let's say, Doodles, for example, there's going to be like a few thousand ways, so you definitely want to make sure that you set that up accordingly. The spending on gas is, it's definitely something that you could explore as well. But that's just that for the token app itself. Obviously, one thing I'll definitely mention, and I haven't mentioned real quick, is that assuming if you have your own RPC, whether it is from Alchemy, whether it is from, let's say, I know some of you guys probably use other RPCs that are publicly available for you to utilize, you could do so as well and save it directly in this particular settings page. There's obviously other settings that you could utilize in the future, but right now, you can set up the URL, set up the name, and then utilize it for your sniping or minting needs. But that is that for the application demo itself. I hope that was very much, I was able to cover the majority of what needs to be taken care of in this quick AMA, but I'll get to the questions if there's no particular questions that want to be raised.
Yeah, Swifty was very informative. But I think one question that might be asked more than once will be, how does this affect the security of your wallet, of your MetaMask wallet, for that matter? I mean, is there a way to ensure that nothing will be lost if we connect it to this application? Is there a guarantee of some sort, or will there be a risk?
I think he got cut off, but I kind of get your question real quick on that. So, in terms of, sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah. So basically, my question is, how will you guys figure out security for everyone so that we can use your token app efficiently?
Absolutely. So I think let's kind of break it down into a few things that I'll definitely mention real quick. First and foremost, I'll kind of direct you guys to the developer update channel that I have actually brought up numerous times to a few people who have tuned in on our previous AMAs. But for those who have not, basically we have talked about not only the performance of the application, which I have sort of demonstrated to you guys, but also the security of the application as well. The one thing I'll definitely tell you right now, it is impossible to prevent certain things if you, let's say, if you on your own go on a website that is phishing, or if you downloaded something, or let's say you interacted your MetaMask wallet with a certain website that is fishy, right? But of course, at the on the fundamental level, we try to make sure that our application is not only secure but is also encrypted. So how we kind of take and also approach it is the fact that we try to allow people to utilize their funds as safely as securely. We have been working with different private information in the past as well. One thing is for sure is that our application called Koi, we have been working with not only people's shipping information, their billing information, but also their credit card information. Obviously, the one thing I'll definitely mention is nothing is being stored in any servers. Everything is done locally. So, when it comes down to what people are interacting or what they're attempting to purchase with, that is really solely up to the end user. So, like for someone like you, if you're using this app, it really depends on which particular contract you want to interact with, which particular site. Let's say if manually you're on your MetaMask, you go on a site if you want to approve that particular transaction or not. But of course, when it comes down to the safety as well as the security of the tool, we obviously have an utmost importance and as well as focus on the security aspect. We obviously want to make sure that even if a bad actor gets into your computer, we have ways to automatically shut off their entire access to get to the tool itself. But of course, as a fundamental level, they have ways, and I know that the smartest developers will have ways to get past certain of our own multi-layer encryption, but it'll take them some time. So if you are one of those people who perhaps put your main wallet on the app, which I to be honest, I would feel like because this is more directed to the automation, that I won't suggest it. But if you in some ways put your main wallet on the app, that you are at least in some ways as secure as putting your main wallet on your MetaMask wallet. One is on a browser, one is on a desktop. So as long as you keep your computer as safe as possible, that you should be just as fine. We definitely do take that security as important as the performance of the application, if not more.
Hey, Swifty, I had a couple of questions. Is it okay if I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
So first and foremost, I said it's always good to hear your AMA. So this is my second AMA that I'm listening. So of Tokun
I remember you.
excited always. So I had the two questions that I had was one, if you look at the RPC that needs to be used, right? So for each node, effectively, you need to have that node present in the wallet, in each wallet that you're going to use. Now, if I look at a multi-wallet for minting, right? Then I would need to have one node in each wallet, is it? Or is there something that Token can do which helps me save the investment that I would need to make in, let's say, buying 100 RPCs?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. So it's actually, I don't know if James is in here. So it's actually something we talked to a few node providers in the space. And the one thing that they're actually doing is they're locking that particular node to a particular NFT. Yeah. Namely, I could put a few, like let's say if you guys are playing with Trippy Node, for example, not Trippy Node, Moonbears. If you own a Moonbear, you could only use that node on that particular wallet, correct? And so, of course, how we try to kind of combat this is to kind of work around ways to not only kind of redirect that connection so that you could use that wallet. And it's actually something that I talked to a few of our guys on the team, like whether or not it is possible to, when you input the RPC URL and you own that particular wallet, that we can redirect it so that every single particular task that you're running can all utilize that URL, while kind of in some ways telling the RPC that, oh yeah, this is the same URL that is being utilized because it is authenticated by this particular NFT. But that is something that we need to work on. Meanwhile, on the provider's end, what they have provided to us is that they want to find ways to allow you guys to easily, purchase it and utilize it for the entire, let's say, bot, for example. You could just input a URL, not have to worry about a wallet, and you own that particular URL because it's unique to you. There's obviously safety concerns so that, because if somebody has access to it, then you're not the only person utilizing the URL. That's really the worst thing that can really happen. In terms of speed, though, I don't think it's going to be as impactful. Of course, everyone would want to keep it as private as possible. In terms of how we want to kind of focus it on in the future, when it comes down to nodes, we want to keep it as flexible as possible, because it's only if you want to purchase a private node, and I'm saying that basically again and again, mainly because in reality there isn't a private node that can be dedicated to you unless you spend maybe a few $1,000s that at the end they perhaps would split it up with you amongst maybe some other people in this VC. The reason why I can be fairly transparent with this is because I actually worked closely in the not only in the NFT space, but it's very similar to how we work with proxies, where they sell you a group of IP addresses, but then these IP addresses are actually shared amongst other customers that purchase it, because that would increase their profit margins. So for us at least, and I think Bo could definitely chip in on this later on in this call as well about nodes, we at least want to make sure that you have an edge, as well as you have the flexibility to choose whichever region that is closest to you, because that actually gives you the biggest advantage. If you purchase a private node that is in New York City, but you are perhaps in Asia or in Europe, that is not as beneficial to you as opposed to if you are having a private node that it is in your region, because that gives you the best benefit as well as the best speeds. But that's just something that I can kind of chime into real quick if that answers your question.
Sure, it does. As I said, I think obviously something to be delved deeper into as one starts using Token app and basically look at what could be the best way to optimize it. My second question, Swifty, would be from a bulk cancellation that you are actually showing. OpenSea also has a bulk cancellation feature, right? Which allows you to cancel all the listings. However, you cannot be picky and choosy about which ones you want to cancel, even in a bulk thing. Does Token allow you to choose which ones you want to cancel?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I was kind of demonstrating, you guys, I think I was just about I actually just canceled a single NFT, but I actually did this in another demo where, actually, let me just do that real quick. So let's say if I actually list 2 NFTs, whether it is from the same collection or different collection, but let me just choose these 2, list them all. So what would happen is, let's just say all of the other ones are actually listed, and these 2 are the ones that are just about to be listed, and I just want to cancel these 2. I could do so easily with Token as well. So you don't have to worry about, let's say if these 4 are my NFTs, I only want to cancel these 2. You could do so easily with Token. You don't have to cancel the entire, essentially whatever you have listed on your wallet. I hope that kind of answers your question real quick. So let's see.
Yeah, it does. It does. I appreciate that. And a final request from my side, Swifty, as you would know, and I have reached out to you multiple times, I think I've been looking at the beta access, and I am really keen on using the app, but I haven't got the beta access enabled yet. So maybe something that if you can look into.
I definitely will. I would definitely mention the only reason why is because we push out. So every time we have an AMA, how we kind of roll beta access out is the fact that whenever we have an update that's coming out, so perhaps 0.1.0 is what you're going to be waiting on. Once we reach that update, there's going to be another huge wave of that particular invite. So you definitely have to look out for that. And I'll definitely make sure that you're invited for sure.
Good, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm just waiting on this TX real quick, because I do believe they're going to be aggregated into a single transaction. But
yeah,
let me...
just to add a little bit, I have a few people requesting the beta access as well. So like what Swifty just mentioned does apply to all of you. So like we really do want you guys to be able to try out the tool for sure. So just give us a little bit more time, and thank you very much for your patience.
Yeah, I mean we're just kind of like, basically right now I do believe, just double check real quick, we have like around 738 people that are beta testing. Every single update that we push, a new wave of invites will be sent out. And it's not like a weekly invite, by the way. We just kind of invite you, and you can utilize it, join the current group of beta testers who already have been providing a ton of feedback, and then allow us to improve from there. We're just expanding that user base of beta testers, basically. Let's see questions we have. I think T-Voc was the first question. Yes. Will the team be able to fund the growth of Token app from a one-time payment? In the future, will it ever be restructured into a subscription-based SaaS? Great question. I know, actually, I just realized that this isn't the complete question that you asked yesterday, so I'll definitely get to this. So how we're going to fund it, and I think to kind of preface a little bit, prior to launching Token, Token itself has been what I would even consider where the team from Koi just kind of decided that we are interested in building something and building out a product that is supporting the NFT space. It's all just out of passion and out of interest to be able to build something out like Token. Although all for them, I think in general they have, they could have just chosen to just focus on Koi itself, but they obviously wanted to kind of expand more and be able to build this out. And so for the past 4 months, we've been working all together closely just to make sure that Token is built out even from the very first day of just being able to generate wallets, do certain things with your wallet, all the way to being able to kind of produce a lot of different ways and as well as tie down a lot of different features. Even the smallest things such as, the animations of each of the interactions that you have with the application that we heavily focus on when you're working with our app. And so, of course, post mint, when we're talking about after our mint, because this is actually going to be a lifetime access pass for those who are unaware about it. That Token is actually going to be focusing on our, how we are able to expand to those who are not holders, because those of a token holder will have the premium benefits of not having to deal with subscriptions as well as any type of products that require subscriptions. We try to make sure that we encompass different features that can really provide you those needs in the NFT space, and that's just not limited to the Token app itself, by the way. Which I won't talk more about, and I know some of you guys already know some of it, but I won't talk more about it. Of course, when it comes down to the expansion as well as the growth of Token, we have, including Zooverse, which is a great partner that we have, as well as a few other partners, and actually have, we are in talks as well as making sure that, when we expand as well as allow people to utilize our tool, there will be ways to allow them to subscribe and access the tool, or basically some form of access to the tool whenever they need to. But the premium still goes back to the holders themselves. And of course, not only for the toolbox itself, we will be expanding to other products and building other products as this market is changing ever so rapidly, while maintaining the current products that we have. So I hope that answers your question real quick about funding as well as what our focus is. Okay, so this real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, just to kind of add on to
let's not. Sorry, Bo, go ahead.
Oh no worries. You were saying something?
Oh no. I was just commenting on biochemistry again because these guys are bringing it up.
Well, it's a great major for sure. But I would just like to mention that, what you're seeing now today is, essentially the start of Token. We really have a lot more things to come. And we will be having an in-house Discord AMA on the 5th. So that is on a Tuesday. It's, I believe it's 10 a.m. Wait, hold on. Let me just check the time. 1 second. So we'll have an in-house AMA at 3 p.m. EST. So sorry about the time mix-up. So 3 p.m. EST, where we'll be touching upon more of the overall features and just maybe even cover like what's to come next, and also you can get a chance to talk to the development teams as well. But like as I mentioned before, we have many more things to come. As you guys know that the NFT space, moves very, very fast. So there's so many things for us to adapt. And also we've been doing this beta launch for almost 2 months now, where we've done about maybe almost 10 developments already, as we have been taking, suggestions and also feedback from real beta users and try to implement them so that we can perfect the product before we push it out. So this is just a little something that I kind of want to add on.
Wow.
We asked automation. Go ahead.
I just want to thank you guys for giving such a great, deep and detailed AMA today, because you guys were able to show off what you guys can do with enticing us also to look into what you guys have planned in the future. So let me just ask a few basic questions. Of course, like when is your mint again, and what's your mint price, and what do you see happening for you guys in terms of when you guys launch? Will there be events? Will there be something the guys will look forward to besides what you just mentioned, that you have an AMA on the 5th, if I'm correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. That's a very good question for sure. I mean, like, to be honest, we have not set a firm tentative launch date, but looking around maybe towards the end of July, I would say. As you know, we have been just really focused on carrying out this beta testing phase where we really do we went into many AMAs to showcase the tool, like what we're doing now with Zooverse, and also taking feedbacks and also just implementing them. And I think we're at a point where we're very happy, and also certain and also like satisfied with the product. So I think maybe in tomorrow's AMA, or like just a little bit after, we might be able to confirm the actual date. But for now, we have not set an actual launch date. So just looking around, as I mentioned, end of July.
Mhm.
And
To the
also,
price.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Go ahead.
For the price, I mean, like I think just to quickly touch upon the whole idea of token, like we really do want to provide a quality tool and also an accessible tool to people who are in the NFT space, whether you are just starting to trade or you are an experienced trader. And also we are looking at a very like an easily onboarded price, so that you guys can get your hands on a quality tool. As you can see that we really do um, like I would say, like we provide a very well-rounded automation and aggregation tool at this point. So I mean, we're looking around like 0.25 sorry 0.35 2.4. I think this is something that we're looking around, so it's not going to be like super crazy, touching 1 ETH, or like that's also like a reserved price where with tools development there's certain costs. And also yeah, just like, so just to kind of be too straight to the point, it would be like 0.35 2.4, but this also has not been confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, I think perhaps some of you guys can provide us some feedback on, what
Okay.
maybe even the price. Hmm? Sorry, PMO. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's great, Alpha. Actually, that at least you gave us a range. Um, Bo, I asked this last night, so I gotta ask it again.
Yeah,
Have
sure.
you guys thought of doing it for free, or what's your plan? Because you knew I was setting you up for this, Bo. I was, so I just do want to know your opinion on that, because the meta right now for NFTs is free mints, as you guys can see. And one that's really doing well right now is XOXO, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
if you guys can give your opinion on that, I
yeah,
can leave you guys alone.
I could get to it. Um,
for
I,
sure.
I think to kind of quickly get to this type of question, I would say real quick that I fully see that it is the meta. I do believe that it is an exciting time to see that many of these projects that really have traction come from the fact that they are free mints. Our biggest difference is, even for, let's say, just 2 days ago, one of our members, they just happened to grab rhinos, and as you can clearly tell how much rhinos are already, just one rhino, already made back exactly what Bo has just mentioned about the price. And of course, it's not a subscription cost. Of course, I do believe that I actually have in some ways thought about this, and then one of our mods really hated me for talking about, just saying, oh yeah, it's going to be a free mint, like we'll just work through the royalties, because I think to our team included, we need to have an adequate amount of funds to be able to save for development and API costs when necessary. Of course, when it comes down to development, I could definitely mention to you that it is in no way in comparison to what Koi requires. Koi itself is in the 5-digit range of how much we need to spend each month just to maintain it. Token itself, on the other hand, could range between 3-digit, even 2 to 3 digits a month, depending on how much we want to scale. Because of all of the experience that we had working on Koi, we understood the needs and what we need to necessarily do to make sure that we scale it at a very, very minimal cost as much as possible. Meanwhile, not sabotaging any of the performance, as well as making sure that, like maybe statistically, you guys can kind of take a look into this. We could house even 100,000 people, 200,000 people, with no problem in terms of the security as well as the performance as well as the overall, access of the tool. We try to make sure that is how much of a scalability we were able to achieve. But in terms of free mint, I definitely would say that it could really go south. And if it does go south, then what we have planned in terms of what we need to kind of kickstart the application itself to make sure that it is well maintained, as well as whoever has been a core contribution to the team is adequately able to kind of receive whatever they are actually deserving. Instead of us charging perhaps like 1 Ethereum or even 2 Ethereum plus a monthly charge for this application, we definitely have already narrowed it down quite a bit to make sure that it is in some way still convenient for those who want to be able to access this tool. Does that answer your question, by the way?
Yes, it does. It actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, we do understand that the free mint meta is what's going on right now, but for each project it's different. For each team it's different. So I do understand where you're coming from. We did have a mint recently, and we also have our situations. So it happens. It's not like we don't want to make sure that people invest in value, correct? So, I see with what you guys are building, it's a bang for your buck application that you can use for a very long time, because I'm sure you'll keep updating. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with my cold. So,
No worries.
I hope you feel
is there
better,
any? No, I'm good. I gotta do this.
I mean, just to chime in on this a little bit, I think we talked about this for Sensation as well. I think like just for the part of just the nature of two projects, I would say so I mean essentially like it's something that when you're investing into a tool or even an alpha group, a pass that potentially provides you value for holding or utilizing the pass or the tool. I think it's something that will always be a good investment if you're trying to progress in the NFT journey. I mean, like if you are someone who's looking to trade better, or also gain that look at it as like a weapon when you're going to war. Like you should be using a good weapon so that you guys can win against any like hype mints or anything like that. So like I know that it's a free mint meta, but what Token can do is actually we've had many success for auto minting on like robos, on Rhino, I think it's Maker Rhino, and a few other mints as well that people mint from contract and did the auto mint and successfully hit and essentially made money. That really made me super happy. I missed on all those calls because I was in a lot of AMAs, but I was just seeing
I was there. I failed. I failed because I didn't run. My goodness.
Like just seeing that people being able to profit off, or like seeing that successful transaction go through, really just like that made me super happy. And yeah, I think that's like, and what we're trying to do at Token is we're offering something that will help you gain advantage for your, like just minting, sniping, or trading experience overall. So essentially what you're investing into, if you like what we're streaming today, if you like the team, if you like what's coming for us, then I would say that the amount that you invest in, I can guarantee you that you're gonna be able to gain back more when you're utilizing token to its potential. So I think this is something that I kind of want to add on, so that people understand like the nature of this, like a tool project, I would say.
Yeah, it's a different type of tool because usually the sniping is still developed. You guys went in on the sniping first, consolidating orders and tasks and whatnot. Usually, it's just about monitoring the prices and creating similar tools, but yours seems more of a developed idea already. So I'm looking forward to see what you guys have in store for the next few months, right? So
yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys, by the way.
No worries, man.
I think that actually preludes to actually what Corey's question is, because I do believe that there's like a ton of tools that are coming out. I know for a fact that some of you guys have encountered a few tools that have came out recently that was very upsetting, and I won't mention who it is. But obviously, when it comes down to innovation, as well as just people who are building out, like what PMO was mentioning, there's so many tools out there that are already providing you data and information. Although I see many different ways, and this is not a hint to anything, I see many different ways that I can improve products that provide you data and information, these graphs and charts, all of these things and real-time data. I do believe that there are ways to make it even more convenient for you. So it's definitely something that, I think at the end of the day, ideas are great, but then it's a matter of the execution that we're able to do when it comes down to building out in this space. Because what Corey has mentioned, like I've worked on Koi for 3 years already. The one thing that I could definitely mention, I think Shemagic, who is also in here, who has been a very trivial part of Koi, is the fact that the space also moves extremely fast. Websites like Walmart, Target, or Best Buy, they change up ever so rapidly, like even hourly. We have to be at our desk making sure that we are taking care of all of our user base, taking care of those who are closely working with us to make sure of, you still having that edge, even though if certain things have been changed. So as a matter of fact, I would say that, not only are we going to be making sure that we execute things properly to make sure that, when it comes down to any type of feature that will be coming out in the future, or any type of market trend that is more beneficial for our holders, that is where we're going to be headed, and that's where we're going to adapt as much as possible for you guys. At the end, we're not mentioning that we are crazy good at, or basically the best in the space. We're mainly just kind of mentioning the fact that we are going to be someone who's going to work with you guys long term, and we wish to be able to allow you guys to entrust us to build out for you guys in the long run as well. Because every single tool out there, like let's say for example NFT Nurse, a brilliant team. We got what is that called? There's that other analytic dashboard called
Alpha Sharks.
Alpha Sharks is also pretty good. I know for a fact that even for Conian, for example, and actually, sorry, my bad. There's Origins. Origins is a very, very brilliant one. All of these teams, they're actively expanding, looking for ways to bring out an experience as well as keep you guys ahead of the curve, or at least in contention. We want obviously to be in that action and make sure that we are providing you not only the experience, but also ways to be ahead of the curve as much as possible. At the end of the day, I think this is something that you guys can take account into, is the fact that the one big difference that we actually provide to you is also the ease of access of the tool. When tools are so similar and so compatible, and you have in some ways want to choose one after another, which one is actually easier to utilize, which one is easier for you to onboard, which one is easier for you to just download and say, I just want to get this going and set up. This is something that we heavily focus on, as well as innovate as much as possible. So that's just something that I kind of wanted to mention real quick. But by all means, our team, they're great people. They're definitely going to make sure that we, like what PMO has mentioned, when the market, wherever the market changes, wherever the market takes us, we will be those people who are going to actively adapt and kind of take you guys along with us and make sure that you guys are at, the point where you guys can profit wherever possible.
I just have like one comment so far.
Yes.
Yeah. So something that I really like about this, again, like this is not just me just pumping like the projects, it's just like a genuine observation, is it just hit me that so far the tools that I have come across is either purely analytical or purely like bought in. So it feels good to have like both like in one place. So that is like all I wanted to say. It's really good.
Appreciate that a lot. I can definitely tell you're going to enjoy staying with us. That's all I'm going to say.
Yo, I didn't realize we could unmute ourselves. What's going on?
Corey, what's up? What's
good, man? Well, I didn't realize we could speak. I'm here typing away, asking questions, and I didn't realize I could just unmute myself and ask you. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say thank you for the answer, because yeah, it's definitely an interesting time that we're in right now, because there's
I guess we cleaned up all the questions. If there's any more questions we have, we can maybe probably take one or two more. So please just unmute yourself and ask away. But
Corey,
I think Corey was asking a question, right?
No, PMO, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. I'll ask my questions.
Let me unmute them.
It's all good.
No, Corey, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because like just following on from Swifty's answer to my question, like it's with Web3 being so new at the moment, it's like there's no defined standard, so we can use that to kind of our advantage and shape the way these things go, because certainly from a sneaker perspective it was always heading in one direction, but the fact that we're so early on in the Web3 space, we can use that to our advantage to kind of shape where we want things to go. And yeah, I just wanted to say we can use that to our advantage, so looking forward to being a part of the team and using the tool set. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I definitely would say, to kind of like respond to that real quick, is the fact that, definitely like what you mentioned, there's so many opportunities out here. Many of us are just hoping to be able to build something that is special for this community. Of course, like I was mentioning earlier, there are certain bad actors that are just kind of taking advantage, even using the name of tools, which is very, very upsetting to me. But of course, it's just something that I wanted to kind of mention real quick, that it's just something that we heavily focus on to make sure that we are progressing along, and as well as innovate wherever we possibly can. I don't know what this means. Are you talking about like being able to copy a particular TX that you have perhaps like performed like here? I don't know if that's perhaps your question. Corey got I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, poor Corey.
But yeah, I think like what PMO was mentioning, that was definitely the majority of the questions. I know for a fact that I hope I was able to get to the majority of your questions. If I didn't, and I know if considering we potentially have any type of time restrictions, you're more than welcome to just tag me, and I can kind of stick around just to kind of answer your question real quick.
Yeah, or I mean, I think I'm just gonna drop this again. So if you guys want to join our Discord, and if you ever feel like you want to see learn more about the tool, or like have a stream again, like please feel free to tag any of the team or the mod chat in our Discord, and we'll be more than happy to assist you on that. So this is this is Swifty. I thought you were gonna send the invite link to our Discord.
I like this emoji. No, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so guys, please do come and just if you have any questions, like maybe not now, maybe in the future, like please feel free to come to our Discord. We are more than happy to answer all of them.
Thank you all, by the way, and thank you PMO for giving us this opportunity.
Really appreciate
Thank you,
it,
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate it too. That I learned so many things in AMAs that it seems that although everything seems negative or like it's not going our way, but it looks like the space is on its way to uh, get to a certain standard and maybe become an industry that will bring us to the future, right? So, anyway, guys, thank you again for dropping by episode 28 of Zoo Tank, and thank you, Shifty, Bo, and see you guys soon.
All right.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
later. Thank you.